In this video, we say goodbye to a crew member. And I have lots of boat projects to finish before I check out the water outside the narrow cut of Hatchet Bay. We pull up anchor and head south through the choppy waters down to Governor's Harbor. We had spent 3 nights at anchor at Hatchet Bay on the island of Eleuthera in the Bahamas. We were up before dawn as crewmate Clarice had an early flight that morning. We loaded up in the Highfield Dinghy and I took her to shore so she could catch a ride to the airport. All right.
I don't want to go.
Yeah, good having you out.
Thank you so much for everything.
Sure. You're welcome anytime to come hang out.
I'll be back.
All right, yep.
Bye, boys.
Thanks, Johnny.
All right.
We'll see you, man.
Bye, guys. Bye, Cougar. Thank you, Bobby.
Sure.
I'll see you soon.
All right, bye.
Good morning.
Anytime you're eating, they're paying attention.
Oh, yeah.
All right, today is work on the boat day. I already edited a podcast, by the way, so their podcast just came out. Check it out. I'm putting out 2 podcasts a week now on the Sailing Doodles podcast channel. It's a completely different channel than this channel, so please check it out. It would really mean a lot to me if you would do that and go over there and subscribe and watch some of those videos. But all right, I got a lot of boat chores today. So first, the tachometer has not been working. So it's not reading RPM. I'm going to mess with that. It's probably just a wiring issue. And then I got a lot of other stuff to do. But I'm going to pull the floorboard up here so I can get at the alternator. Because if you don't know, that's how most RPM gauges work, is they take a reading from the alternator. It's always a bit of a hassle having to move all the furniture and the carpet out of the way just to get access to the engine room. Alright, I've been messing with it. I couldn't get it to work, so I think everything's hooked up correctly. There was a loose wire, so the stator line coming out of the alternator was loose, like it wasn't in its housing, so I put that back in its housing. So this is slightly different than like a regular alternator, because this one's like a high output, and so it's digitally controlled. So let me show you. So this is the alternator here, and then it's actually connected to this regulator right here. It's kind of a control, it senses the temperature of the alternator and the batteries and the charging, because it's such a high output that you need a controller for it. So normally you just have your tachometer hooked in just to an output on the back of the alternator, so this white line right here is what goes to the tachometer, and it goes through a harness back to the tack. But because it goes through this other thing, so first this comes out of, well, there's a plug on the bottom, and it goes through this little housing back up to here, and then it sends another signal back through this housing back to here on this gray line, which connects to this white line, which is the tack. And yeah, for some reason it's not working. So like when I go to start the motor, I can see the tack kind of as it's starting, and then when it starts up, it's just not getting signal. Maybe it's the tachometer, maybe the wiring's bad up there, so that's something to look at. Maybe this is all working great, it's just that tack up there is not compatible, maybe because this is for a digital tack, and maybe that's like not a digital tack, so maybe I need to get a new tachometer. I think I'll try that next. But anyway, so I've already got this open, so I'm going to check my fuel, see if there's any water or anything in it, drain those rake cores out if there is, and then move on to the next item. All right, so you can see the rake core there on the bottom of that is like a little bit of water and sludge, so I'm going to drain that off and then refill those. Yeah, that was pretty gross. Look how much sludge was in there. I think there's probably a little more. I don't see enough fuel on the top yet. Man, there's just so much shit. So because that fuel was looking so gross, and I kind of peeked into the rake core too, it's like the filters are kind of gross. So I'm going to replace the filters now too. Uh oh, these are the wrong ones. Hopefully I got more of them. Okay. Well, I don't have any fuel filters. I've looked everywhere on this boat. I just saw fuel filters and assumed they were the right ones, so I didn't get any before I left. I didn't check. So it's probably going to be fine. You know, I mean, heck, it'll probably make it till we get all the way back to the States, but, you know, we'll be in Georgetown in about 3 weeks. So I should be able to get fuel filters there. If not, I can have some sent in. But whatever. So I'm going to fill up the fuel filters again with fuel, and then, yeah, then I'm going to check the oil and all that while I got this open. So it's got these like electric lift pumps that kind of pump fuel into this housing. You want to make sure you do that so you get all the air out of the system. You don't want, I mean, because I dumped, I don't know, a liter, quarter gallon of fuel out of there, or water out of there, so it left a big air gap, so you want to fill all those up. Well, look what I found. Fuel filters. They were just in I searched every cabinet in this place except for one underneath the desk there, because I just forgot about that cabinet was there. It's, you know, that's where the freezer is, so I didn't even think about it, but that's where the... So anyway, but I had already put this room back together, so I'm going to deal with it later. Next time I open that up, I'll replace the fuel filters. But I got everything else pretty much finished that I wanted to do today. I don't know how well I fixed things, but let me show you over here. There's a hydraulic leak here, so it has hydraulic steering, and it's leaking down into the floor here. And so, you know, it's making a mess down there. Should have filmed it, but I took this apart, took the wheel off, and got in there and tightened some fittings down that it could have been leaking from. It's really awkward to get at because this little housing in here, instead of having nuts and bolts, it's got Allen bolts. And so like I can't get an Allen key on the front of this thing to hold it. So there was a loose bolt, so at the very bottom, which is maybe where it was leaking. So I was able to get a pair of pliers and just hold that bolt as tight as I could and crank down on the nut, and hopefully maybe it sealed it enough to stop the flow. Put everything back together, added some hydraulic fluid to it. It's turning smooth now. Also, the bow thruster was not working, but that all happened. You know, a few weeks ago we had an issue with the engine not starting, and I was taking the ignition apart thinking it was the ignition when it was a loose wire on the starter. So there was a ground knocked off the little panel. You know, I put the ground back on, and I guess that was the ground for the bow thruster, because now it works. So, yeah, I got everything finished that I wanted to do. Kind of nice. You know what time it is? Yeah, you do. It's beer 30. If you ever stop in Hatchet Bay, Boater's Haven Restaurant and Store is a pretty good spot. Most of the time you can catch cruisers meeting there for happy hour. Be sure to say hello to Ronaldo, who runs the bar. The cut into Hatchet Bay is pretty narrow. Before we were leaving the next day, I wanted to take the dinghy out to check the conditions. I already got up and gave the dogs a bath, because that's what I was afraid of around here, is that there's a lot of local dogs, and they were really hanging out. They came to the bar last night where we had happy hour with a bunch of cruisers, and so there's a lot of local dogs, and they were all playing and everything, and they were just really itchy all night, so I'm sure they got something. So this morning I gave them both a bath, so they're a little high energy this morning. But you smell so good. You smell so good. But what we're gonna do right now is I'm gonna take the dinghy out the little cut here. I just want to see what the conditions are on the other side. If they're good enough, we're gonna, because it's blowing 15 to 20. I think the conditions are gonna be good enough. But we'd like to move about 14 miles south down to Governor's Harbor. We'll be going pretty much straight into the wind, but I think we're gonna be enough in the lee of the island here that it shouldn't be too bad. So I'm gonna load the dinghy up with the boys and we'll go check it out. I was planning to tow the dinghy down to Governor's Harbor, so I wanted to check out the conditions to make sure they weren't too rough. Cougar and Merlin don't really care where they're going, they just want to go for a ride.
hijack my world at night.
It's not too bad out here. 2 footers. Mostly wind chopped, not really going to be big swell or anything. It's not deep enough out here for that to go, so. I mean, it's either we're going to be stuck here another 3 days or we go, so might as well go. It's not going to be like awesome, but it was only 2 hours down there beating into it, so whatever. We'll go straight into it, so it shouldn't be too rolly. We're just kind of beating into it a little. Plus, I think as we get further down, we'll kind of be more, like the land kind of turns this way a little bit more, so we should be more in the lee of it, so. Yeah, we're just gonna give it a shot. Who cares? If it sucks, too bad. We can come back, but I think it'll be fine.
In the past, we've been cast out of. Now we're back in the fight.
So I left the chart plotter on the whole time we're here. You can see our course, and so I like to do that if I'm a little bit, you know, like we're close to shore over here, and then there was really strong winds. That way I can keep an eye on things, see if we're dragging or all. But you can see our track. I mean, like, you know, we just kind of went back and forth between here. So it didn't really budge at all. So our anchor's out here somewhere. Well, yeah, somewhere there. And yeah, Kenzie will be out in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull the bridle up now, and then she can kind of help. What I've started doing is I've been letting her steer, or just use the throttle to move me forward, and I'm pulling up the anchor. It's a little more efficient, I think. Our new windlass was working great, but our Mantis anchor was really dug in. The anchor brought a lot of dirt up with it. The easiest way to get that dirt off is just to drag it through the water.
Circumstance beyond our control.
Neutral. There was a lot of crap. It's kind of like a hard clay mud, so it was really hard to get up.
Down?
What?
Was the front of it like going down from it?
No, there's a shit ton of dirt and mud in there. Really like packed clay, and so it was like really dug in there. That's why we didn't move at all.
The phone, TV, and the news of the world.
I took us out through the narrow cut.
A pigeon from hell. Oh, through sand in our eyes and descended like flies. Put us back on the train.
Before it got too dry and hard, I wanted to get the dirt off the anchor.
Back on the chain gang.
It's been so windy for like, I feel like 5 days. It might be like 3 or 4. I'm a little dramatic, but yeah. It's been super windy and cloudy.
The conditions were a little bit rough, but Nauti Dogs is a big, heavy boat and plowed right through the waves.
Like we do. Bring me to my knees when I see what they've done to you. But I'll die as I stand here today, knowing that deep in my heart they'll fall to ruin one day for making us part.
After a couple hours, we made it to Governor's Harbor.
I found a picture of you.
We have a saltwater washdown hose that I use to clean off some of the dirt and dog debris.
The happiest days of my life. Like a break in the battle was your part. Oh, in the wretched life of a lonely heart.
You ready to go for a walk?
Ow. Yeah. Man, I'm always hitting my shin.
Weren't able to get the dogs much of a walk the last 2 days just because there were so many island dogs where we were, so it'd be nice to take them for a nice little walk today. We're going to take them to Frigates. Are you excited, Merlin? Yeah. I think you're excited. All right.
I grew up wild and I grew up true. A town most folks just drive through. We sit out by the dam.
It was a short ride in the Highfield to the beach. It's a really shallow bay, and if you park your dinghy too close to shore and the tide goes out, you could be left stranded.
Off, I could sneak out late to a spot on the west side, baby, nobody knew. come and find me down where the tree line ends and the cattails grow. We can be free, living our dreams out, singing to the radio.
So this is Governor's Harbor. They're a pretty good supermarket. They have banks. They have everything you need here. Gift shops, all that stuff. Marine store, dive shop, hardware, all that stuff. So it's a nice little stop, and they have a couple nice restaurants. We're gonna do frigates for lunch here. Get the boys a nice walk today. It's kind of overcast and windy, so it's gonna be that the next few days. So, you know, maybe go snorkeling if the wind drops off a little bit and the sun comes out. But water's a little chilly. Without sun, it'd be a little cold.
I was raised on a little patch of heaven, wheat fields and old dirt roads, where the tin roof sings, the whole damn thing shakes when the cold wind blows. Well, it ain't all sunshines and rainbows, hard times we all know, but I go back in a minute to the land.
Food was really good there at Frigates, but service is slow. Bahamas, it's typical. But it's kind of an overcast, windy day, so we're gonna go back to the boat and work, and then yeah,
Work, baby, work.
tomorrow we might get the wing foil out and try to do some of that.
Oh, we're gonna, and I'm gonna be good at it.
Yeah.
Never tried it, but
Yeah. Okay then.
don't doubt me, Bobby.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I'll be better than you.
I don't.
You wanna make a bet? We should make a bet.
I make a bet.
All right.
It has a very steep learning curve.
Rather than get the boys all wet and dirty, I carried them out to the dinghy.
I spent some time in a corner bar, playing for keeps with this old guitar, and it was worth every minute when I heard those
That's a good
people
market, though.
sing. It's a long road home, but now I see what them old times meant to me. So when I get back, crack a bottle of Jack.
Good afternoon.
It's almost evening, but we're going to dinner. So I'm assuming we can get in there. We tried to call and make reservations, but it's a place called Buccaneers. It's kind of cool. They have like live music and stuff, so we'll see how it goes.
Find me down where the tree line ends and the cattails grow. We can be free, living our dreams.
We loaded back up in the Highfield to head to shore.
I was raised on a little patch of heaven, wheat fields and old dirt roads, where the tin roof sings, the whole damn thing shakes when the cold wind blows. Well, it ain't all sunshines and rainbows, hard times we all know, but I go back in a minute to the land of the wicked, wheat fields and old dirt roads.
The tide had gone out quite a bit since last time. You can see how easy it would be to be left high and dry.
Well, last time I was here, this place was packed and they had a band and stuff. Maybe that was on a weekend night, I'm not sure, but like, I kind of expected it to be busier, but
I was raised on a little patch of heaven,
We might have been the only people there, but the food was pretty good.
where the tin roof sings, the whole damn thing shakes when the cold wind blows. Well, it ain't all sunshines and rainbows, hard times we all know, but I go back in a minute to the land of the wicked, wheat fields and old dirt roads. I go back in a minute to the land of the wicked, wheat fields and old dirt roads. La da da.
We are almost at 700,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it if you would help us get there. Please make sure you're subscribed if you not already are, and consider sharing this video with someone that you think might like it.
Wheat fields and old dirt roads.